All right, we got something new, bro. I can't pronounce his name, but this is how Saitama is going to fix One Punch Man. Big redraw problem. Let's hear his perspective and how. Let's just hear what he got to say.
Figured out how they're ultimately going to fix the current arc of One Punch Man that's
I want to hear this.
Going on that they've like been redrawing for the last 2 years, and it's I guess going to be Saitama that resolves it. Go figure. One Punch Man. But at the end of the previous chapter, we saw that Blast intervened in the fight between Flashy Flash Sonic and the Tanito and pretty much stopped Flashy Flash and Sonic from killing them, and Blast just subdues them himself. So the whole plan constructed from the Tanito, which seems to come from the leader of the Ninja Village, Empty Void, is for Sonic to lure Flashy Flash to the abandoned area where he lives, and then they're gonna kill him there. However, as we saw, Sonic leads Flashy Flash to
JoJo moment
to a different location, but Empty Void seems—
Look at my goat, bro. Look at my goat. Oh my God. Bro, I can't wait, bro. Bro, like I said, hey, yo, if they told me get him with one hit, yo, is it what it is? But if we get Blast, see, it can go all type of ways. So I just want to hear what he got to say, bro. This can go all type of ways, really, bro. Let's just...
is still under the assumption that they're going to meet at the empty warehouse place. And Blast also knows this somehow. Because back in chapter 197, like the new double retcon, true canon chapter 97, Blast is talking to Sitch and he says, as long as Empty Void is hidden, he cannot be found because of the special barrier he deploys. Even the village could not be found because of it. If he disappears into the shadow again, we will be lost. This is our chance. And then he shows Sitch an image of like Sonic's place of residence, this abandoned building. And he says he'll
I don't know why, but Six, or look like, is it me or do he look like Mario, or he like remind you of Mario in the way?
Like Sonic.
You don't remind y'all of Mario? Like how he drawn like the nose? I don't know. It giving Mario, Super Mario. Every time I see it, like Super Mario.
Place of residence, this abandoned building, and he says he'll show up here. And then we see like this little thing coming from Blast's ear, like an earpiece, saying that man will be here as well. And that's like the conversation that the Tanito was having with Sonic when they told him about the plan. So it's possible that like Hellfire and Gale are there.
Bro, I like these two characters, bro. They remind me, they giving me Team Rocket vibes, you know. They giving me Team Rocket, Jesse and Jane, Team Rocket vibes.
Inside men here. I'm just guessing it kind of has to be them. I'm assuming like they are now working with the Hero Association. Now, at the same time, Saitama is also showing up to this abandoned building.
Like I said, bro, it's a race to the finish. We just gotta see how they're gonna play out, bro. We gotta see if Marauder gonna give it. Well, yo, either way, bro, we gotta see how it's a race to the finish.
Because he figured out the address from one of the letters of challenge that Sonic used to send to him, which I guess like happened sometime, you know, in season 1 territory. And Genos asks him like, why is he going there? And Saitama says, I don't know if it's a ninja army or what, but I've seen something like this before. Guys with nothing better to do who end up getting together just cause trouble and draw attention to themselves, referring to the Paradisers. And since we know that an army of ninjas will go to Sonic's house, I'm gonna go there and beat up Sonic, along with the other of his kind that's around, and hopefully Sonic will stop bothering me. Maybe he just doesn't want to be alone. And Saitama eventually does show up to the abandoned building. That's actually the last place that we saw him. And if we go into the webcomic continuity of this, like the original draft version of this storyline, Empty Void does show up at the abandoned building while Saitama is there, and Saitama just one-shots him into the ground.
Yeah. About that. See, bro, I don't know how they're gonna play it, cause in the manga they did him right with the like knocked him down in the face and all that stuff.
ground, and that's it. So it seems like that is going to happen in this new manga continuity as well. And that sequence could also parallel to what we've seen in the beginning of the Ninja arc as well. Because back in chapter 194, when Sonic comes across Flashy Flash and Saitama and Genos, Sonic like attacks Saitama and he knocks him into the ground. And it looks just like the same sequence from the webcomic of when Saitama defeats Empty Void. And this sequence is also referenced again at the end of chapter 195, when Flashy Flash is like trying to figure out why he thinks that Flashy Flash is as strong as Sonic. And Saitama says, well, to be fair, Sonic did sink deeper, comparing when Flashy Flash was defeated in the triple threat match between Platinum S and Garo to when Saitama knocked Sonic into the ground. So the third in this sequence will just be Saitama knocking Empty Void. I'm just guessing, maybe. So then I guess Blast is going to take Flashy Flash and Sonic to the abandoned building, try to come across Empty Void.
Yeah, see, I see how I'm thinking like Saitama probably gonna meet him there. I mean, Saitama gonna meet him, like, you know, they're probably having like a little discussion. Then like Blast gonna like intervene. You feel me? It could go that way too, bro. It, like I said, it can go either way, bro. It can go either way. It can go so many type ways, bro. No, like, bro, they gonna be nasty. And then again, Murata could just make Empty Void just reappear where on what you call it.
Maybe, and then they're
but no, because Saitama
going to see that Saitama has already defeated him, and then maybe that's when we get the reveal of the backstory of Empty Void, whatever the new version of it's going to be. I assume he's also still going to have a history with Blast, and maybe they search for the cubes or something, and that will eventually lead to Empty Void being tricked into accepting God's influence and becoming the monster that he does. And I do think that the whole storyline of them trying to turn Empty Void back into a human, as well as other monsters back into humans, is still going to be a thing, because back in chapter 196, the double retcon new true continuity version, Sitch says to Blast, you could have simply told Flashy Flash that Empty Void was being manipulated by God and his actions are only its doing. That would have protected him and deflect Flashy Flash's revenge intentions against him. And Blast says, I just don't want to make things worse for Void if he ever becomes human again.
He still want Void. I mean, Empty Goat to be human, bro.
Although I feel like he would probably just scold me and say, don't try to act gullible. So that still is a thing. So I guess they're just going to take Empty Void, who has been defeated by Saitama, back to the Hero Association, and then they're going to start experimenting on him. Unless he just escapes or something, but maybe they're just...
Well, I would love to see if they battle, bro. I want my boy Empty Goat to battle. People want to see Blast. Okay, cool. I want to see my boy Empty Goat.
Trying to streamline this whole process, because we still don't know what the ultimate conclusion of Blast versus Empty Void was going to be. The two times that they started to fight, it was retconned before there was any resolution.
Bro, and all I'm saying, like, bro, I know they, and you know, like, he gonna put some of them pals, them scans on, bro. So he ain't finna just leave it out of, well, he can, he won't, but
Blue should do it. So maybe this is it, maybe not, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. And also, I made some mistakes in my review yesterday because, you know, I was going off of the Google translation and everything, and I forgot some stuff. So first of all, the sword that we see break from Flashy Flash in the beginning of the new chapter, that was a replacement for Insta-Kill, not Insta-Kill, because Insta-Kill broke back in the Monster Association arc. My bad. But as I said before, this is also...
So I know we probably gonna keep this. I know it's possible that Murata probably want to keep this right here, this whole scan right here, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, he probably add a little, you know, I forget the monster, but she probably ain't gonna be in it. But he probably gonna keep it because you know he keeps some of the scans. But that's what I'm saying. Like, we just gotta see how they're gonna play out, bro.
Also a way for Saitama to give Flashy Flash and Sonic Empty Void swords, because in the webcomic, after he defeats him, he just spreads out his arsenal, and Flashy Flash and Sonic wind up taking one of each of his swords. And it turns out that Blast used...
Look at my boy Rover.
Rover's nose.
Everybody love Blast, yo. You gotta respect Blast too, bro.
To like sniff out where Flashy Flash and Sonic were going to be by sniffing the letter that Sonic had sent to Flashy Flash through the Hero Association. So I guess Flashy Flash just like dropped the letter or something at the Hero Association and they still had it, or I don't know, Blast did some blasty stuff to get it. But hey, but real quick guys, you should check out Gamer Subs in case you haven't already. Anything that really you wanted, like L-theanine, L-Maver, Nuke, one of my favorite stories, and it is 10% comments, guys. And if you
Hey, whoa, we probably gotta check that out right now. What that? Versus? Okay. But you already know, man. Hey, yo, yeah, some of y'all gotta tap in on Versus, bro. Versus is good, bro, but you already know, man. Link up on that screen, all that good stuff, man. I'm out, y'all be safe.